Alright everybody, well hello and welcome back to the IvD Yogi Time number 41 All Division $10 prize pool tournament. I'm your host IvD Rob, and joining me is our very own Sir Kolfsky. What is up?
A lot of stuff. But this tournament's awesome, man. This
tournament is awesome, as we have spawning on the left side of Antigua Shipyard, we have our blue Terran NIN after a stunning defeat on Spock, who has been owning it up and dominating the entire losers bracket from first round on. We have NIN. And in the top right, we have the green Terran, his opponent, who has only recently been knocked down, I'm pretty sure. He is none other than RDGOgna.
Yep, Ogna got knocked down by 5-year-old.
Yeah, that was not too long ago, actually. That was, let me check that. I'm not
that was
my camera's
last
on.
round.
Yeah, last round. That was last round, wasn't it?
Yep.
Alright. So going into this game, what do you think? What do you think we should expect out of this? I mean, this is a TVT. We have not seen a TVT at all today. So what's your take?
In TVT, I generally like to see mech versus mech. I believe it's the most powerful build for TVT, but they could very well go bio as well.
Could very well go bio, indeed, as it looks like. You know, both players opening the same thing, like the same exact opening and everything. Timing's almost identical. There is a little bit of a lag behind on that SCV for NIN, but you know, it's not a big difference here. It's definitely not a game-changing difference.
I think that lag's probably due to how he placed his supply depots. It's like, if you notice, Ogna put his supply depot in front of his refinery, and that'll save him about 5 minerals and some time, whereas NIN put it in the gas to scout there.
Indeed, it looks like actually NIN, not realizing that this is a cross-spawn only map, is going to go and scout out the close-by air base, realizing that there is nothing there, and go straight for the cross-map position. So he definitely wants to make sure that he is safe. He wants to make sure that this map is not going to be close-by air at all.
Whereas with Ogna, he's just like, I don't care what you're doing, I'm just going to do my build. And yeah.
Yeah, Ogna not actually looking at all concerned about scouting. He is going to get his factory up, and it looks like he's just going for a 1-1 build.
I mean, he's building a supply depot as close to the mineral line as possible so that SCVs can get right back to mining.
Yeah, he definitely is. And there we have the starport going down, the last piece of the 1-1-1. This is probably going to be followed up with a tech lab on this factory, and depends on when he wants to go off of this. He could go mech, he could go bio. Meanwhile, actually, NIN doing the exact same thing. So this is both players playing almost identical. The only difference is the reactor on NIN's, the reactor that is on Ogna's barracks is not on NIN's barracks, and NIN has a tech lab on his factory that is now lifting up and going to switch out with the starports. So we're going to have Banshees a lot earlier out of NIN than we saw in any other game, actually, and then we are going to see out of Ogna. Well, Ogna is going to go for this early dropship, so he's probably going to do some early drops. Damn, I said dropship again. This isn't Brood War.
Well, like, the medevac has two purposes. It's a medic and a dropship, and he may be using the dropship part of the medevac, so you're not entirely wrong.
Yeah, well, it does look like we have some early pressure, some Marines and a Hellion coming out of Ogna, and that's going to poke up the ramp and realize there's a lot there, and he cannot quite do this just yet, but he is going to wait for units to come across the map. He might do a drop here.
So, can NIN hold without the reactor on his barracks as opposed to Ogna's reactor barracks?
It's hard to tell, but it looks like he's going to have to try, as this drop does come in, and that drop is going to be turned around right then and right there. There were enough Marines out for NIN to deal with that, to push it back and to make this, to shut this pressure down completely. Of course, the Banshee now making its way across the map, and an engineering bay going down here for Ogna in response to that, as Ogna's going to try to push out. Oh yes, and a Viking. As Ogna's going to try and push out back into the space again with that Viking. Oh wait, hang on. Viking, yeah, Viking, there it is. With that Viking patrolling the southern section of Ogna's base, that Banshee's not going to be able to do much unless it has Cloak, which it does indeed have Cloak, and he's going to get in there. He's going to be able to get a few kills. The scan goes down. Oh, the scan goes down, and the Banshee is going to fall. Not quite sure if he scouted much out of that. He did see the Viking. He did see the engineering bay, and he did see the turrets starting to go down. So the psychological effect of going Banshee really quickly has already ran its course, as it looks like the more pressure is being put on the ramp for NIN out of Ogna, as Ogna's going to try to put a little pressure with these Marines.
And Ogna's trying to expand behind his pressure that he's putting on right now.
He is definitely trying to expand behind.
We have another Banshee coming in.
Ooh, and this one is cloaked as well. He is going to deny that expansion by sniping out the probe, which is a very good move. The main for Ogna is starting to be a little oversaturated, and this so that natural needs to go up really soon. But the more he can delay it, the more ahead NIN can get with this Banshee pressure. He is going to grab quite a few SCV kills. This Banshee up to 11 kills, 12 kills, 13 kills, 14 kills, and is finally going to retreat with this Banshee that is going to lose his cloak right before it gets out of there.
There's another one, and it needs to cloak, and it does.
And it does, and it's going to make it. It is going to make its way into the base here. Maybe snipe out a little bit more, but the turrets around here are giving vision. Another scan goes down. The major thing about this is he has been keeping scans going down, and keeping scans going down is a really major thing, as NIN is able to put down mules. He has the energy, he has the ability, he's not concerned about anything that he needs to scan for, as he's been keeping his scouting up with the Banshees. He's been keeping his opponent from doing much of anything that is tricky, and his opponent having to waste those scans is that's actually money that is being wasted here. The only thing is that NIN is saving up energy on his command center, which is kind of interesting because we have to see what he's going to do off of this. He is getting, we do have siege coming from Ogna, but I don't see any siege tanks out at all. Well, there's one siege tank that's out and one that's on the way, and siege is not done for Ogna. Well, siege is done for NIN, so he's probably going to be using scans to try and look up the cliff so he can get some shots off.
Most definitely. And NIN is, like, even though he's just putting down his expansion, he's still ahead by 11 SCVs. So those Banshees have definitely paid for themselves.
This positioning is really good out of NIN. With that siege tank there, he is going to keep any kind of he's going to be able to put pressure on this base along with the Marines that are giving vision of the high ground. There's the scan going down because the Marines are being pushed back, but still, this is definitely not a good position for Ogna at all. Missile turrets still going up, trying to keep any kind of air units, any kind of Banshee play from doing any more damage, as Vikings are the unit of choice now out of NIN, as that's what he has completely switched to for vision purposes. And
Ogna doing a last-ditch effort to make a drop and getting it sniped out by a Viking. Not bad here out of NIN, going to, he's containing his opponent, taking out even more SCVs. I just want to point this out. NIN has killed 18 SCVs compared to the 1 SCV that Ogna has killed all game. So this is a really good position for NIN. But no, he's going to pull he's pulling his siege tanks back. He does not have vision of the high ground, and that one siege tank that was left there is going to get killed. And looks like NIN is forced to back off.
But that's okay, he has done the damage that he needs to do. He has set Ogna so far behind. Economically, he is ahead by 13 SCVs, and army supply, he is way ahead in army supply. That is 16 army supply, or 16 supply in general, ahead of Ogna. So this is a really good position for NIN. All he needs, or NIN, all he needs to do right now is emphasize this, not emphasize this, he needs, what he needs to do is he needs to keep that expansion safe. He needs to defend this push, and he can actually gain an even greater lead against his opponent, as his opponent is now marching across the map, and he knows this.
Yeah, and like that whole pressure time, he was able to keep Ogna stagnant at 19 SCVs while he was still building workers. Like, only now that Ogna's pushing out has he been able to get above 19 and start to catch up SCV-wise.
Oh, and it looks like Ogna going to move his siege tanks away from the line there, as he did do a little bit of poking there with a Hellion that was immediately shut down, and now he's going to have to pull all the way back as he goes to grab his natural, which is actually going to be his third here, because he did take his second base at the base below him, and that is not a bad move at all, as he was having to deal with that contain.
Yeah, and NIN has not even seen that base yet. It is currently still hidden. So, yeah, it's money that NIN is not expecting Ogna to have.
It is. It definitely is. And more units going to make their way up here for reinforcements of this small army out of NIN. But the game right now, well, the positioning right now in favor of Ogna, as he has the Zelnaga Tower, as he has the siege line going up now, and he has the high ground advantage. A scan is going to go down out of NIN just to see what is going on. Ogna does get, no he doesn't, he does not have view of that army moving around the map, so he does not know about what NIN is doing.
NIN has been very careful until now to keep himself out of the line of sight of that tower, and he just pulled Ogna's army straight out of position.
Oh, he definitely did, and it looks like this army is going to be caught, is going to be moving around. The Cloak Banshee doing so much, the Marine's going to stem in. Siege tanks are sieged right now, and looks like NIN is not concerned about sieging at all. Just going to wipe up this army and start pressuring right at Ogna's front door. But Ogna not going to have it, moving more Marines and a siege tank that is going to siege up here in a position to keep any kind of push from NIN from moving anywhere, really. But NIN, not really concerned, is going to grab his third and going to catch up here in the economic game that he kind of has started to, or not really catch up, but he is going to try to gain an even further lead, as Ogna has done a great job of catching back up to NIN in economy.
And just a point of control, when NIN was pushing for the center, the unsieged tanks, they do more damage per unit. So against larger units, an unsieged tank will do more damage. It just doesn't have the splash damage.
Right. But these siege tanks are going to... Oh, really good position here out of NIN, taking out all of the Marines for Ogna, as he is now in a position to pressure the natural. Ogna saying, screw that, I'm going to start pressuring you.
But Ogna, that small force.
I don't think Ogna's going to be able to do this, as it looks like he's immediately going to have to pull his army back to deal with this attack, because now his natural, or what is actually his third, is in danger, and it is going to be lost here. Siege tank's going to be sieged out of NIN. Really good positioning, and there's the GG out of Ogna. GG!
Don't work on that.
Oh my god, I'm so...